For my speech topic, I decided to go with, do magazines marketed for teenagers send the wrong message? And, okay, here we go. So, why do we read teen magazines? I'm sure that we could probably all agree that there is no grand life lesson that will come about reading about the Kardashians' latest fashion trend, or celebrating which beach body is hot and which one is not. Maybe we read them for the advice that we get on how to get a date, or how to pass a test, or how to be the hottest new girl at school. Whatever the reasoning behind reading these magazines, we'll flip through the pages and you come across the ad that there's a perfect model with bronzed legs and it's fantastic and it's for a razor. And you wonder why you don't look like that. And you wonder why you don't have flawlessly tanned and toned legs just like the computer-generated Barbie in front of you. Regardless of how unrealistic everyone knows these ads and articles to be, we still buy into it. Each month a new one comes out, which in return causes us to hate our bodies, question our intelligence, and get so unbelievably frustrated with this idealistic notion of perfection that depression and anxiety take control of us. So reading teen magazines is stunting human growth and development, and is setting up unobtainable standards for teens to live by that are, in return, leading to mental and physical illness. So there were times in my life when the idea of going outside was immediately vetoed by my confidence. Depression was overwhelming and there was no stopping it. Every day I avoid mirrors, I would avoid looking at the really, really pretty girls in the hall in high school, and it even got so bad that I would avoid food in hopes of maybe losing like a pound. Just a little bit of weight, that's all. And it was all because my body wasn't idolized by everyone in high school like the size 00 model in the Ralph Lauren ad. And
this is a Ralph Lauren ad of a model on the right who started for the company, and then on the left it shows her 6 months later, and this is no Photoshop, and it just goes to show that the body image is so far distraught even for the model.
I didn't fit the bill, so therefore I wasn't good enough. Not only did this mindset take a toll on my body, but it took a toll on my health and my intelligence too. Those went pretty much out the window the second I decided my body wasn't good enough. The negativity that I put into my body grew to an obsession with my imperfections, and not long after, I lost sight of the things I really did love about myself. For about 3 years, I couldn't find why I felt this way. And then my doctor told me I had BDD, body dysmorphic disorder. And I'm not the only one to ever feel like this either. I'm sure that right now, you could probably think of like 1 or 2 things that you don't like about yourself and you would change if you could, but it doesn't interfere with your daily life. Whereas people with BDD, it stops their life. It controls them. People with BDD can end up missing school, can end up missing work, avoid social situations. It can even go as far as them not wanting to see family because they're worried that the people around them are going to notice that they have flaws. And people with BDD also constantly trying to position their bodies in certain ways so that they might look different from a different angle. They constantly change their clothes, comparing their bodies to others, and they avoid mirrors at all costs. In most cases of BDD, these flaws are very, very minuscule. Most of the time, they're quite literally not there at all. A person with this disorder can glance into a mirror and convince themselves they look overweight. Say they see a 200-pound person, and when in reality they're maybe 130 pounds, and there's nothing to be done about it.
This photo shows an accurate representation of how BDD affects someone who has it. And in the image you can see that no matter how small she gets due to anorexia or bulimia, she still sees someone who is chubby or overweight.
BDD can also lead to eating disorders. 97% of people admitted into hospitals with anorexia are diagnosed or have been previously diagnosed with BDD, but amazingly enough, only 2% of the US officially has been diagnosed with BD, although it's predicted to be at 20% or higher. The first known case of body dysmorphic disorder was in 1987, which is funny because that was the peak of ads and perfect butt and a perfect body, and physical perfection was all over the tabloids. Magazines not only plant the idea that your body is not perfect, but they also tend to publish articles that focus on incredible grand accomplishments and overwhelming hurdles that people have triumphed over. And it's awesome, it's great for the person in the article, but it often cuts us or the reader down in our own accomplishments, which it's nearly forcing us to compare ourselves to the people that are being featured, like they're like superhumans or something. And then it's kind of like how when you go on Facebook, you usually see highlights of somebody's life, and they're always positive, like baby photos, or I guess in the case of a teenager, like a prom picture, and everyone is, their life seems perfect. And it's unfair because everyone has struggles, and nobody likes to share the hard times in their life with the world, but it certainly makes us feel great to put the great things online or in a magazine article. With all of this happening around us and we're forced to see it, it's predicted that 1 out of 3 teens will end up with significant clinical depression and in need of some kind of treatment, and in the last 30 years, suicide rates have tripled in teens 14 to 19, all because of social media and tabloid news expansion. So, although the teen magazine industry may be a multi-million-dollar industry, reading into these magazines and comparing oneself to the ads causes mental as well as physical health issues. Anxiety and depression are overwhelming the masses and take control to a point that it makes it very difficult for an individual to function in a normal social or professional setting. And self-esteem is at an all-time low. It's time to grow away from commercial beauty and define a new beauty in a more organic and natural kind of way, because that's who we are. Organic people. We're real humans. We're not photoshopped. Nor do we always look effortlessly infallible. So do magazines marketed for teenagers send the wrong messages? Yes, they do.